If you've been hurt in an accident, the smart thing to do is to hire a lawyer who can take care of business. I can do that.
By early January 2002, attorney Larry McNabney had not been seen in months. His wife Elisa and her best friend Sarah, who were inseparable, were telling family, friends, and clients varying stories as to his whereabouts. Then suddenly, Elisa McNabney said she and Sarah were moving to Arizona. But Elisa drove into the sunset in her very expensive Jaguar. Alone.
Sarah Dutra goes to the Sacramento airport, and she thinks there will be a plane ticket there for her to fly to Arizona. And she gets to the airport, and it's not there. Well, there must be a mistake. And it was only after making a number of calls that she realizes there's no plane ticket for me. She's been abandoned.
But not for long. Sarah had new people interested in spending time with her. The police.
I'm telling you, though, I have not heard from her. I swear to God.
When we spoke with Sarah, she gave us a pretty kind of benign interview, didn't know where Elisa was, and that all she knew was that Larry had left Elisa and he was gone.
I said, "Was he coming back?" And she said, I don't know if he's coming back.
We could detect that there was a sense that she was trying to detach herself from Elisa. She was making it sound like it was a boss-employee relationship, and that she didn't really know any of the personal details or things of that nature, which we knew from the beginning that that was not right.
Sarah, I want to talk to Elisa. I want to talk to her now. The best thing you can do is tell us where Elisa's at.
But if I don't know, I can't tell. I mean, I don't even know how to start looking for her.
But since this was just a missing persons case, actually 2 missing people, and there was no concrete evidence that a crime had been committed, police had to let Sarah go. At least until they could talk to Elisa.
There was all of a sudden this urgency to find her. We had a vehicle, we had a make, we had the vehicle description, and we put out a bulletin, be on the lookout for that vehicle.
In the meantime, detectives returned to the horse trailer Elisa left behind. They combed through the jumble inside, looking for anything that could tell them where Elisa and Larry might be. After hours of searching, they found a stack of documents. It was a gold mine. It seemed that the mysterious Elisa Barash McNabney was not who she claimed to be.
She had a 114-page rap sheet. And prior to Elisa McNabney, she had used 38 different names.
And one of the names she used was Elisa Barash, the same name as a woman who lived in Florida. Police wanted to see if there was a connection, so they paid the second Elisa a visit.
Hello, ma'am. How are you doing?
And wait till you hear this. When they showed the second Elisa a photo, she recognized the other Elisa immediately. Only the other Elisa's name when she knew her was Lauren Sims. The 2 women had spent time together 11 years before when they were cellmates in prison.
Lauren Sims grew up in Brooksville, Florida, and it's the type of town where everybody knows everybody. Lauren was a straight-A student, but she wasn't a person that could sit still, so she dropped out of high school. She had a good family, but for some reason she removed herself from that. The people that knew her the best always felt like she couldn't wait to get out of there. She started off being a runaway. She would assume somebody's identity, maybe get a credit card, go on a spending spree.
She was arrested a few times. Forgery, burglary, some financial non-sufficient funds type of offenses. Eventually, she was sentenced to state prison.
That's where Lauren Sims met Elisa Barash. And once Lauren got out of prison, she stole Elisa's identity. Then she made her way west. By the time she ended up at Larry McNabney's law firm, she'd already been married and divorced twice. And despite what she told Larry, she never got an MBA or even a college degree. But she never lied about her high IQ, and it served her well when it was time to manipulate the people around her.
She could speak and be articulate and be around attorneys. Some of these attorneys would turn to Larry and would say how impressed they were with some of her arguments, with no formal education, no legal training whatsoever.
But now Elisa/Lauren and her husband Larry were missing. And so was all the money his law firm had taken in for clients.
And it was at least $500,000, and probably more actually, but they went through a lot of money.
And what of Larry? The last time he'd been seen was at the horse show in Southern California. Somewhere around 9/11, Elisa and he checked out of the hotel. But everyone was focused on the breaking news, so no one could remember seeing them leave. But sometimes buried secrets have a way of resurfacing.
February 5th, 2002, some farm workers were crossing a vineyard in the Sacramento region, and they saw a portion of lower leg had been unearthed, and the sheriff's office responded out there and found a body buried in a shallow grave.
That body was Larry McNabney's.
Larry's body looked like it had been in the ground only a short period, a matter of weeks, maybe a month or so. So the forensic anthropologist and the coroner speculated that the body had been kept preserved somewhere until just before it was put in the ground.
When the doctors performed the autopsy, there was no trauma to the body, so there was no obvious signs of death. Initially, the pathologist did a screening for all the known poisons. It came back negative for all those.
The mystery deepened. Who or what had killed Larry McNabney? And where was his missing wife? Police believed Elisa's best friend, Sarah Dutra, probably had more information than she'd previously told them. They brought her back in for more questioning.
I'm here because Lawrence McNabney was found in a hole. He's dead. All right? That's why I'm here.
I thought you meant like you were.
Sarah, you better think about what's going on and your association to Elisa. You're into your eyeballs with all the financial stuff. We know that you were signing McNabney's name. She's giving all this stuff away. You're helping clearing out offices.
I believed her.
Sarah, how old are you?
21.
You're going to college, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You're not that dumb. Sorry. What I'm concerned with is the fact that you were too all-fired surprised when I said he was dead. You should have recovered of it like this.
What?
You recovered from the fact that Larry McNabney's dead really quick.
I'm sick right now to think that Larry McNabney is dead. And who would do that to Larry?
Who would do it?
Who do you think would do it?
Who do you think did it?
I don't know who would do that.
What makes the most sense?
Sarah, come on.
Elisa? I mean, that's the only person now I could think that would do that. I'm starting to wonder if I don't know Elisa as well as I thought I did. And that I had really all this crap pulled over my eyes and I didn't know.
No matter what Sarah told them, detectives still believed she was involved in the death of Larry McNabney, but they had nothing to hold her on. They let her go again. But 3 weeks later, the investigation took a turn when police in Florida located Elisa's car.
A gentleman notified the Fort Walton Beach Police Department that his truck had been stolen by a lady who stayed with him. And when the officers initially went to take the report of the stolen truck, Elisa's Jaguar was located at that area.
That meant the woman who stole the truck was most likely Elisa.
The authorities found the pickup truck in a parking lot near a beach. They started combing the beach, and within a few minutes, Elisa actually walked up to them and said, "I'm the person you're looking for."
Well, that was easy. After weeks of searching for Elisa, it looked like all they had to do was take a walk on the beach, and like magic, she'd appear. But that was only the beginning of the surprises she had up her sleeve. Now that Elisa had come forward, she was ready to reveal the truth about what happened to her husband, Larry McNabney.
Did I kill my husband? Yes, I killed my husband.
There it was. Elisa/Lauren had killed Larry. But how? She claimed that she and Sarah had poisoned him using horse tranquilizers.